I've got some interesting sound on this topic, though, from Senator Barbara Boxer from years ago. This is, no, not Boxer. This is Nancy Pelosi. This is from 2008, where she is being questioned about the fact that she has interns working for her that work for free. Yet she is trying to impose minimum wages on other people, yet she pays her own interns zero. And she's asked to explain that apparent hypocrisy. It's a very interesting discussion. We'll start it with cut number 23.
How much do you pay your interns?
Well, it depends on the program that they're part of.
But how much do they get paid?
They don't get paid by the hour. They get paid to come in, say, for a summer or something like that.
What is their hourly rate? Is it below minimum wage?
It isn't an hourly rate. It's a stipend for a period of time that they come in.
But calculated.
But they do fine by many of them would come in and be interns as part of their education.
All right, so she's backtracking. She's trying to say, well, they're not paid hourly. It's a stipend, but she still hasn't said what that stipend is or what they're getting paid. Here, cut number 24.
So you paid all of your interns more than minimum wage when they work here?
Those who have come here to work for a stipend. Some have come as part of their school program where they get credit for working in an office.
And how much you pay them?
If they come in, some of them come in, and as they say, it's part of their school. They are not getting paid. They're part of their education is to work with us, and we train them in what we do here in government.
Okay, so in other words, these are young kids who don't have a lot of skills, so they work, and they don't get paid, but they do work, but in exchange for working, they develop skills. So in other words, people are working. She's getting the value of their labor, but not paying them anything. In exchange, she's helping to educate them with real-time work-related experience. Oh, gee, what's wrong with that? Here, cut number 25.
Didn't you say that all services were worth at least $5.15, and here there is a service that's being rendered to you personally, which you are not compensating at all?
No, I said to you earlier, unless someone decides that they want to volunteer. And you cannot underestimate the volunteer effort.
So if somebody wants to volunteer to work for McDonald's at $4 an hour, is that all right?
No,
or is that illegal? Is that illegal? You would prosecute that person, right?
No, I wouldn't prosecute them, but I don't think that people don't go to work for McDonald's for nothing. They go there because they need to make a living.
But if somebody wanted to make the decision that they were willing to work for McDonald's at $4 an hour, it was in their best interest, that would be illegal, would it not?
No, it's not a question of being illegal.
Would it be illegal or not?
I don't think that McDonald's would want them there. They would be responsible for them.
Well, first of all, I don't know what she's talking about. McDonald's wouldn't want to hire somebody for $4 an hour. She's obviously trying to duck the question, and the reporter is going to put some more pressure on her. We're going to continue. We got several more cuts from this encounter with the hypocrite Nancy Pelosi trying to back her way out of the corner that she is in, trying to explain her hypocrisy by paying her workers nothing, but trying to force private sector employers to pay their workers a lot more than nothing. So we're going to continue. We're talking about former Speaker of the House Nancy Pelosi and her hypocrisy with respect to what she pays or doesn't pay her White House interns, or not her White House, her congressional interns, and she claims that it's okay for her to pay less than the minimum wage because, after all, the people working there gain something from the experience, and therefore they're gaining something more valuable than money. Now, of course, if any private company tries to make the same argument and they say, look, I don't want to pay them minimum wage, I want to pay them less, because they're gaining some valuable on-the-job training, well, Nancy Pelosi would say that's illegal. It's illegal for somebody else to do it, but it's perfectly legitimate if I do it. And that is, of course, the classic definition of hypocrisy, and Nancy Pelosi is a hypocrite. Anyway, here's some more of this discussion. I think the next clip, what's the next one in order? Is it 27? Play whatever one is next.
But if McDonald's had a program where they had, in order to be a McDonald's employee, you had to be an intern and work without pay for a month, would that be illegal?
I'm not sure. I don't know. McDonald's, is under a separate law called the Kroc law.
Well,
it's a separate law. They're under a separate law. I think all of them are under that law.
Pancake House, it doesn't matter. Any employer that's hiring minimum wage earners, if they had a program where everybody that had to work for a whole month for free as an intern first, before they hired them, would that be illegal?
Yes, in my view it would be. I think they should pay them as they train them.
In your case...
All right, so she says she thinks that McDonald's should pay people the minimum wage as they train them, but she doesn't think Congress should have to pay anybody while they train them. Now, what is the difference? Why are we going to treat government employers differently than we treat private sector employees? Why is experience in the government valuable, yet experience in the private sector is somehow worthless? Here's some more of this. Let's play the next cut.
What's the difference?
Well,
is it that you're a congresswoman and that they are private enterprise?
No, but if you talk about the Red Cross, if you talk about the Catholic Church, the Methodist Church, the Baptist Church, if you talk about any organizations where people want to make a contribution, whether it's to their country or to their church or whether it's to their community, and they have the right to do that.
Or to their private enterprise, like McDonald's or Burger King or whatever, right?
Well, I think it's an absolutely silly example. Well, if I may be so bold, I think it's silly. I think it's silly. I don't. It's a waste of time.
Let's see what's
you're saying is a waste of time.
So I don't think it's silly at all, but what she's saying is that if you work for government, you're making a contribution, or if you're working for a church or a charity. But if you work for a private, for-profit company, you're not making a contribution to anybody. That shows you how much she values the free enterprise system. This is continuing. Let's play the next cut.
And let me say this. Anytime we have these young people come in, and we have a great deal of competition among the young people who want to come in, because they want to learn about government, they want to get credit for their, and they want to get credit for their courses.
Some of them you hire and you don't pay the minimum wage, right?
No, we do pay the minimum wage.
All of them?
We do pay the minimum wage.
All of them?
We do. There are some people who do not want to have, they want to come and go because they want to be here 1 hour a week to work on a specific issue. So they may not meet the standards of getting a stipend of a certain scholarship.
Okay, so now she's saying they don't want to be paid. Of course they would. They would accept payment. I mean, they want the job, even if it means no pay. But obviously, if they had a choice between, would you like to have the job and be paid, or do you want the job and not be paid? If they gave them the choice, of course, they would all accept the money. To say that they don't want to be paid is nonsense. The reason they're not paid is because the government doesn't have to pay them, because there's a big supply of people willing to work for free. So free markets apply to the government when they want to hire, but they don't apply to anybody else. Let's play the next clip.
So you don't pay them all minimum wage.
You know
so
what?
those services,
let me say this, because I have to go now. I have to go now. I believe
you are not willing to pay $4.25
I want to say this directly into the camera.
See,
I have tried to make myself available to the bottom line, Rational Solutions
Well, let's get
Network.
to the bottom line.
And I believe that there is in this country a large body of people who devalue the work of people who work in the system. Some have come to me and said, you'd be surprised what profit we could make if only we had very low wages. I said, no, I wouldn't be surprised.
I
wouldn't be surprised.
I'll give you a chance to comment.
I have made myself available. I have answered your questions.
No, you have evaded
I have to go. Now I have to report.
You have evaded the questions.
And I think that you came into our office under a false pretense.
Yes, under a false pretense. What? Maybe he pretended he was going to ask her layups, and now he's actually got a reporter asking serious questions, and now that's false pretenses, and now she wants out, and he's correct. She hasn't answered the questions. She has evaded answering the questions, and because she's getting serious questions about something that she doesn't want to talk about for obvious reasons, because it exposes her hypocrisy, she wants to get out. Here's a final clip. Let's play it. Cut 30.
Let me give you what I think is the bottom line.
Please,
let me give you what I think is the bottom line.
Half an hour is up.
You refuse to answer the questions. I just want to tell you what I think is the bottom line.
You really made a mistake. You really made a mistake. You made a mistake.
Why did I make a mistake? What is the mistake?
Because I think that if you wanted to have a discussion about the minimum wage, you would have asked your questions. We would have moved to other aspects of it.
But
you have one question through it. I don't have any more time, Ian. That's it. My time is up.
You think that it would harm you to answer my questions?
This interview is over. Would you please dismantle your cameras?
Excuse me. Do you think it would harm you?
Terry?
Do you think it would harm you to answer my questions?
Terry, will you call the guard? Because this interview is over. Okay?
You're going to call the guard on us?
No, I'm just telling you, it's over now. You either accept the fact that the interview is over or not. Okay? The interview is over.
You don't want to answer the questions.
No.
See, that's easy. If you don't want to answer any questions, you just call the guards and throw the guy out. I mean, she says if you really wanted to have a discussion on minimum wage, you wouldn't have asked me all these poignant questions about why I don't pay my own workers anything and why I want other people. I mean, this is very pertinent because it seems to me that Nancy Pelosi reveals her understanding of the situation where when you have young people who you have to train on the job, and they are getting valuable training, that they don't necessarily need to be paid the minimum wage. And in her case, she doesn't think she needs to pay them anything. Anything. You know, Nancy Pelosi has a congressional budget. She has the ability to change the budget and maybe take some money away from her higher paid people and pay more of it to these exploited interns that she seems so concerned about. See, she's only concerned about the people who are exploited by other people. She doesn't give a damn about the people that she exploits herself, although she proves that she understands that it's not exploitation. So if she understands that, if she understands she's not exploiting her interns, she must understand that other companies like McDonald's would not be exploiting people if they paid them less than minimum wage. Then why does she support those laws that she doesn't even abide by herself? It's because of politics. She knows it's harming the economy. She knows that. But it's good politics because the labor unions want it because it destroys competition from lower wage people. And it sounds good. It sounds like she's protecting workers, like she's giving people something for nothing, even though she knows it's harming workers because it's denying them the ability to get some on-the-job training.